Morning.
Recording is on.
Good morning. So welcome everyone to the second product coordinators call. The goal is that we update each other and the community about the work we have done in the past week. And this is an addition to the written updates that we try to make that we plan to do every 2 weeks in the forum. 2 weeks are also passed, so I also ask every coordinator or maintainer here that they please provide this little written update with a change log, not too big. I already received from the DevSuite team and one from the Base App team, and I will share it with you later in the channel. And now I would say we go through the different teams, and please everyone give a little update about like the work and efforts, good and bad things maybe that are happened in the past 7 days, and then give a little outlook how the next week will most likely look for you in the product teams. Of course, this is not set in stone, but it's like a status quo update from right now. So I would like to start maybe with Andrea, who could give us insights about the SDKs and the middleware.
Yes, so sorry for the camera, but my internet connection is not very good here at home. So last two sprint was a little slow for the SDK and middleware part because we were we had to deal with other projects. But what I can update you about is that we have now the official support for the compiler, the external compiler for the JavaScript SDK, and for the Python SDK that is not yet released, but it is completed. Also, we have some more addition on the state channel implementation for the JavaScript SDKs. We are working to have a full complete support for all the functionalities, and coming next sprint or next couple of sprints, for what is concerned with the work on stabilizing functionalities of the middleware, especially the part of the subscription via WebSockets, and the next sprint will be focus on fix the issue that we have found. They're still there, and to release a stable version to the official Docker repository. This is my
great
summary.
You broke up a little bit for me with the updates. I don't know how it came through to the others, but I mean, we will get the written bullet points anyway. So I will go to the next team. Maybe Stoyan, you can give us updates about the wallets Base app.
Yeah, sure. So in the last sprint and week, we focused on preparing the builds for iOS and Android. We resolved all the issues related to this in terms of like layout and platform specific issues, and now we're just about to upload them in TestFlight and Android Play, Google Play console. And after we've started sharing them, we're gonna do one more round of testing and also work on the descriptions to submit them for release and review. And in addition to that, for the next two sprints, we'll be focusing on the making the voting app work within the base app. There are a couple of dependencies there. We want to make it work with the ledger, which works in the desktop version of the base app, and also we want to make it work with AirGap, which will also be working in the desktop version of the base app. And then there's just voting within the base app itself on your phone. So these are the three areas that we need to address in order to make this bigger voting app project complete. And that's the main thing that will be focusing in the next 3 weeks.
Thank you very much, Stojan. Maybe we can quickly jump to the voting app because it's still something new for most of the people. Pivo, maybe you can say a few sentences about the hybrid voting app that we are currently working on, and also give us updates about the Alexia SDK.
Yes. So the hybrid voting app will be an app on the Eternity and Ethereum network that allows any token holder of either still ERC20, ERC20 in migration, or Eternity mainnet tokens to participate in a staked voting effort using all the identity providers we can. Yes. So right now this is in a state where we do have prototype implementations on Eternity and ERC20 for the logic of voting. What we need to do next is we need to apply the designs we got from the designer, and we need to add scripts to count stakes and make it verifiable that we as Eternity counted them correctly for the general public. I think this was full update about the voting app. About the Alexia SDK, in the last week, the team did work on RLP serializations for all kind of transactions, using reusing the Erlang module from the core node. We did auto generation of code from the API wrapper, from the Swagger file, and this is now merged. So we deleted about 5,000 lines of code that we had inside there. We started work on high-level modules, for example, to use contracts out of the Alexia SDK very easily, and we will continue work there with high-level modules. And I'm going to say a few quick words about examples as well. So, or the Sophia examples and Eternity examples in general. So we got the state channels demo merged finally, which is great. But there's more work need to refine this. We did a few updates on the Sophia code style in these examples, and Pega and me did work on a naming app example that I think she will tell a few more words about. And there we go to continue to work on Sophia code style, and except this, there's nothing immediate planned for the examples. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pivo. This was a very good update. And as you have already moderated Pega, please tell us a little bit about the app, the example app, and also about the improvements in the documentation hub.
Hello, everyone. So this week I worked on a naming registration demo app, as already mentioned from Pivo. And the main focus of this whole hackathon session, let's call it, was getting in touch and know the pain points of the general app development. And while we were I was developing, I made also notes, which I can also share. And I made notes about all the pain points. So yeah, my roadmap would be trying to solve, or let's say heal those pain points, which I made, yeah. And to deploy a first version of the name registration app. We also specified the MVP, like the main functionalities, and also we can also extend later versions of the naming app. And besides that, I was keep on working on the documentation app, which I really like because you can see always if you are regularly on the documentation app, you can, I think, see in a good way which submodules got added, and yeah, I think it's a growing project, which is super visible, and I will keep on working on that, and which means adding more submodules and solving besides that open issues, which are also like I get regularly. So yeah, that's I think it from my side.
Great, thank you very much for the update. I will also continue to go to Martin. Martin, you take care of the developer suite, how we named it. It is containing Forge AE for smart contract, Sophia smart contract testing, local development environment. It contains also the applications now, like Goggles and the Faucet. Maybe you just give us a quick wrap up about the past week and also the outlook now for this team.
Okay, so what I have done in the past 7 days is that the state channels demo that we are creating for the coffee shop and integrating it with the base app. Actually, we have implemented the new designs. We need to polish some things in the demo. Also, we will now test it to work on the testnet because there's a new version of the SDK which fixes some issues that I have mentioned on our last meeting, and also the new Node 2.3 has some features that were needed for the state channel. So we are now updating also the version of the SDK, and we will try to make it work on the testnet. Also, we have published Sophia syntax highlighting plugin for all JetBrains products like IntelliJ, WebStorm, and so on. It's to be available. The link we provided in the forum post with the status updates, and all of the community members will be able to download it, use it, and make their life easier with this. Also, we will get some feedback probably from this, which will be great. Today we will publish a new Oracle smart contracts examples in the Sophia examples report that Pivo mentioned. Also, we will update the SDK version for all of the tools like Forge, Playground, Contracts app, and Goggles, and we will all of the tools will benefit from the new standalone compiler, which capabilities are now exposed from the SDK. Also, we have fixed some Playground UI issues, and we are probably ready for deployment of the Playground 2 and using it in the testnet. And yeah, I think it's this also something that we will work on next week. As Pivo said, there are some feedbacks for the examples, and we will update all of the contracts and examples in this GitHub repo with the new functionalities. So this is from the DevSuite team for the past 7 days and for the next week.
Thank you very much, Martin. Also very, very good update. I will, Milan, I forgot, it would have been better to get your update right after Stojan's, because you're kind of in the wallets team and working on a browser plugin wallet. How is the progress there? Please give us a short update.
Hi, everyone. So last week I had some conversations with the base app team, with Stojan, regarding the EX2, which will be some kind of identity provider. Also, we have now working prototype of the extension, the browser wallet extension. It can generate wallet and sign-up transaction now. but it's pretty ugly from the UI perspective. So the next week we'll be focusing on polishing it out, and also we'll be working on implementing an library named Argon 2 for credential storage and key derivation, so it can be more secure for storing the keys in the browser.
Very nice. And yeah, I think it's good to know and good to understand for everyone that those, of course, need wallets everywhere. They are extremely important for to interact with the Eternity protocol blockchain. I also see you also joining like this our wallets team, because it's getting more and more, and I see that there is demand. We are also speaking now about which will be upcoming, and where there is no product team right now working on a state channel client, which again has to do a lot with signing and maintaining the stuff. So lots of things move here. Thank you for your update. So I think in this call is also Dincho. Dincho, like basically your team is extremely new, but extremely important. You take care about all the different hosting and deployment things we're having in our ecosystem right now. So maybe you can give us a short update about what's going on there and how this is developing.
Yeah. So this week we was focusing on API gateway service. It's like similar to Infura, and I had a call today with Andrea to confirm the configuration of the mainnet gateway, and we'll start rolling new connections with next week. If everything goes well, we'll create a similar service for the testnet.
Great, thank you very much. Can you also you are also in touch with Martin, right, for the tools and playground and things like that?
Nope.
Please, guys, get in touch.
Okay, I'll ping Dincho.
Perfect. Anything else, Dincho? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Well, the second, let's call it feature we're actively working is Debian packaging, but it's still in early stages for internal testing only.
Great, thanks a lot. So I will also, what I plan here is not only getting the updates from the, like, say, non-core product teams, but actually we have a pretty huge core development team, or I mean, it's not huge, but we are doing a lot of things. So in the future, in this call, I would like to kind of the coordinator, I'm still searching for the right word, that, for example, we are working on Stratum pools, which is Michal might be the main coordinator right now. Eric Stenman is working on Fate VM, of course not alone, but he is kind of coordinating the efforts. Hans is working on generalized accounts, and I think here in this meeting we have Sergey, and we also have Dimitar. So maybe Dimitar, you can give us a short update about the past week or so, or that what happened in the state channel there, and the things we are. You can also give an outlook on the things we are planning and that you are proposing.
Okay, so I'll try not to be that technical.
You can be technical; it's absolutely fine. We are all technical people in this call, and also from the outside, I think we'll. It will be also for technical people. So please be as technical as you want. Just have 2-3 minutes and give us an update.
Okay, so UF is working on providing support for strange, unexpected channel events like Alice Bob channel. Alice tries to cheat Bob with providing some old on-chain state. So we want to shield Bob from being cheated, basically. And this is a lot of work. It's a long-running task for UF, and last week he had been working on that particularly. I am working in a completely orthogonal direction from him, providing basically allowing blocks to be pinned, off-chain blocks, block off-chain updates to be pinned on block hashes. Basically, I'm using an Oracle response at this block height, basically. And if it is run into other environment, that code would be invalid. This has a lot of implications, both for transaction versioning and for transaction processing, both on-chain and off-chain. So the biggest fun there is to keep the backwards compatibility while introducing the new functionality. And this is not ready yet, and I'm still working on that. Orthogonally to that, we are working on providing support to the community, answering questions. I did an AMA in Telegram yesterday, and we're pushing into direction for having a proper chain client to handle all the channel-specific work. So basically, channel application developers can actually develop a Sophia contract and a corresponding user interface without having to handle all the dispute mechanisms that must be handled both node side and client side. So there are a couple of different things there.
Yeah. I mean, it's super interesting, and I think if you do this every week, it will help people a lot to understand what's going on and what direction we are moving. Also, regarding to this state channel client, we are looking in our teams right now who could tackle this. It might be Artur and Gregos, or I think UX support could come from Dario. Alexei has also spent last week on the state channel demo, so knows some stuff. So I'm pretty sure we will assemble a nice team, maybe Michal Povaga from the SDK team, so we can move forward and hopefully soon provide comfortable pieces of software to work and build with state channels. Thank you very much for your update. I think one more crossover update about the protocol development could be done by Sergey. Sergey, you have a few words about the past week, maybe the most interesting things that happened there?
Sure. So last week closed a sprint, which means we had a new release. There was the release was mostly like maintenance release, so no very exciting things. So it was like incremental improvements to the state channels done by Dimitar, because Ulf is still working on this huge tasks on Solar Close. Then incremental work on Sophia and EVM. I mean, probably something that is mostly like visible and interesting is that we had this big fix for mempool. So we had this incident, I think like a month ago, when the mempool was started to be filled with invalid transactions, which just were staying there. Like it was kind of not a bug, a feature, but they, according to this feature, they were spending too much time in the mempool, so now they should be kicked by the garbage collector much earlier, so that such situations do not arise. And we started a new sprint today, so now the interesting thing is that we might start merging within the next few weeks our work on Stratum into the master, and also Hans has promised to deliver next week the first MVP for generalized accounts, which is also quite exciting. They are done for AEVM, but I mean, when the Fate is ready, it will be relatively easy to adopt them to work on Fate. So,
perfect. Thank you very much, Sergey, for this update. And I would, last but not least, I would like to give Emil a few words. You're overlooking basically the whole architecture and logics in this blockchain apps ecosystem of Eternity. What has been like your main focus around expansions or thoughts and improvements here, or just general stuff you saw happening in the past week that you would like to add?
So we reworked the expansion for the app wallet communication a little bit, and I would still like to encourage everyone here to comment a bit more on that, because so far we didn't get much feedback, neither from the base app team nor from Milan. So it would be great if you, we can also have a call for that, if that helps better. But there we get some feedback. Other than that, we have a new expansion about key storage format, and our idea is like to use this not only to allow people to store their secrets there, but also maybe other data that the wallets might want to store there, and data can travel from one wallet to another. Also, this is a suggestion so far, so we are very keen on getting some feedback on that.
Perfect. I would also really enjoy if you just, the same thing you just said, just put it into 10 sentences, and you can even use this recording and type it and post it in the forum. So not everybody will watch this video from beginning to the end. So if we have from all teams a short written update. I don't want to make this every week, because I think sometimes that we really just have maintenance or like not that much progress, but at every 2 weeks, the people who just said a few words also post a written update into the forum, take the number of the week. So this time, I don't know what week are we in, so people can orient themselves. We are in the 14th week now, so this week an update, and then by the end of the 16th week we make like the next one, and every Friday we make those calls here. And also, if you like now questions arise, or you see problems or new projects arise, then I think everybody knows who to reach out for. And this also counts for the community. Be proactive and come to us. And now everybody open the camera, and I think that's it, if nobody wants to add thoughts.
I have a question, Emil, for AX2. You said comment in the forum thread. Is that the right place to comment?
Oh yes, that's exactly. That's if you have any questions about it, then you can also ping me directly before you comment. If you're not sure if you understood something correctly, but I think if you have questions about this, and also other people have them, yeah. And for us, we are currently figuring out, is the scope now more clear for people, or is there still open questions? So if you send us them in the forum, that would help us a lot. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Also, one more thing that I want to encourage here is that whenever we get questions also from the community, I know that many of them also ping us on Telegram, or maybe they go to a dev chat. We even have people writing us private emails and trying to start to get help and trying to start a discussion there. Let us try whenever it's possible, or like basically always first go into the forum. It will also help us to focus more. We can asynchronously answer those questions. When you see a question that you cannot answer, then but it is in the forum, then also, of course, forward it to the right person, so that we really try to make as much communication as somehow possible through the forum, also technical support, so this can help other people when they later Google or run into similar problems to find this. And the second thing, for the forum also, don't be afraid to open new topics. Right? It doesn't have to be a very, like, if the topic is changing also within a conversation there, make a new topic. It will be easier to find and easier to point to if we have this. And this kind of will become, hopefully, the FAQ developer FAQ section of Eternity. In some point of time when there are more questions on Stack Overflow or similar, of course, we will answer them too. But for us now, the first step would be the forum. I think that's it. If nobody has something to say, I would close this meeting. Anyone? Last chance? Perfect. I'm extremely happy. Thank you very much for this great work. And looking forward to the written updates and all the different sprint planning sessions, and latest next Friday. Have a good weekend, everyone, and see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you.